Alright, first up we have a guy who was apparently desperate for a dual monitor setup. Now, I'm not saying I personally would go through the effort of dedicating an entire laptop to resting on its side, possibly clamped to the side of my desk, just for an extra 8 inches of monitor space. To me, I think alt-tabbing would be a little bit easier, but, you know, the guy wanted a dual monitor setup, and so he made one. You know, it's ingenuity, and I gotta give him points for that. What I have to take points away for is just how gross everything in this image appears to be. The mouse pad looks filthy. It looks like it's got some unknown substance all over it. The mouse wheel has gone from like a white to a faded tan. The keyboard is also filthy in a number of locations. The screens, the laptop and the desktop screens, they are also filthy. Everything in this picture is just filthy. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. Overall, I'm going to give this setup a 5 out of 10 for ingenuity, but I'm also going to remove 1 point for how filthy everything is. So overall, 4 out of 10. Alright, next up we've got this one. Now this was the image that started my fascination with collecting pictures of people's rooms. I found this to be a very unique room, very fascinating. Obviously, the thing that catches your eye immediately is all of the plushes. I was a little bit confused, but the guy on 4chan said that his hobby is actually that he plays those crane games, like those little dollar crane games, where you could possibly win a plush. And he plays those all the time, everywhere that he can, and his hobby is winning as much as he can, and then he displays all of his prizes. Considering the fact that most of us can't win those games once in our lives, the fact that this man has won this many times is pretty much absurd. I also like the idea of just a giant pile of plushes. I mean, there's something cozy about that. You got the warm lighting of this room and all the plushes. There's something very cozy about this setup. You got the CRT monitor, you've got the wood furniture. I enjoy all of this until we get to the stool. Now the stool raises a few questions. Number one, Anon, what is the mason jar for? Why is there an empty mason jar sitting next to all of these plushes on your rotating stool? Because the last time I saw an empty mason jar on 4chan, I don't want to talk about the last time I saw a mason jar on 4chan. So that's a little bit concerning. You've also got a can of Pepsi sitting on this rotating bar stool, and that is anxiety-inducing to me, because assuming there's liquid in it, it is just one slight nudge away from spilling, potentially onto the power strip underneath the desk, maybe onto the plushes, and I mean, good luck getting Pepsi out of, like, a cheap, shitty fucking plush. Like, that's just never gonna happen. It's forever gonna be the Pepsi plush, because you're never gonna get that out. That's anxiety-inducing. Then up on the desk, you've got what appears to be another jar, and this one is full of what appears to be a red fluid. I'm going to pretend that that's, like, cherry Pepsi in the can, and that he poured that into the jar. That's what we're gonna do. I don't know what is actually in that jar, and I don't really want to think about what's actually in that jar. I would give this setup an 8 out of 10, but I'm gonna reduce 1 point for the can of Pepsi being right on the edge of destruction. If that falls onto the power strip, say goodbye to the power strip, and also anything connected to it. And I'm going to deduct 1 point for the mysterious mason jar. So we're taking it down to 6 out of 10. I hate this fucking image. I hate this fucking image. Okay, where do we start? Now, let's just start with the TV, okay? You've got the TV on a bar stool, but that's not enough. That's not precarious enough for you. You're not living on the fucking edge enough, okay? So you took that TV that's on a bar stool, and then you put it on some books, too, okay? And you got these wires hanging off of the TV going to other things, such as your PlayStation 2, which is also resting on a small table, which is also being elevated for no fucking reason by books. Okay, the TV, I could almost understand. I could almost fucking understand the TV because you want it to be at eye level with you, so you raise it up with the books. The fucking PlayStation 2, why the fuck does that matter how high it is? Why does it matter? It doesn't fucking matter. It could be on the table. It would be less precarious if that shit falls Okay, I'm not saying the PlayStation is like some rare fucking gem that needs to be protected and that, you know, they're super uncommon and that if it breaks, you're never gonna get another one. But like, still, why would you even bother putting it at risk like this? Why the fuck would you even? It makes no sense. Then you got a fucking can of Mountain Dew. There's Mountain Dew all over this room, and we'll get to that. Okay, but that's my first problem. All right. You get the PlayStation and the television just precariously teetering, and if any of those wires get nudged by anything, the whole house of cards comes crumbling down. It all falls, okay? It all falls. And where's it gonna fall to? Well, it's gonna fall to the floor, which is fucking filthy. What is going on here? Is that toilet paper? Is that toilet paper, Anon? Why is there toilet paper next to your chair? Why is there... Does that explain the mysterious stain in the seat of that chair? Is that what's going on here? Looking above the TV, you have another TV, which you can't see all of because he's got so many goddamn knickknacks and cans and bottles in the fucking way that you can't even see the whole screen. He's got a Land O'Lakes box, so for some fucking reason, he's just got a box of margarine chilling next to his television. And then over to the right, we've got what appears to be a Dilbert comic printed out on regular-ass office paper, poorly taped to the wall. What the fuck is going on in this room? I rate this setup 0 out of 10. Go fuck yourself. Okay, so this one pisses me off because there's just such a massive lack of effort being made here. I don't understand the thought process behind this. You have this room that could be a really nice, cozy area. You could have a really great media center, and you could have your friends over, and you could hang out, and you could eat your Hawaiian pizzas and watch anime, and it would be just a great time. But instead, what we have here is just this room of fucking chaos, right? First of all, we've got clothes everywhere. Okay, we've got clothes on the floor. We've got clothes hanging off the chairs. We got clothes on the couch. Now, I don't understand what's so hard about buying a hamper, just a bin. You know, it doesn't even need to be fancy. You can go down to Dollar General. You could buy like a $3 hamper, set it up in the corner of the room, and you don't even have to get up. When you go to change your clothes, you can literally just yeet your fucking clothes across the room into the hamper. It's what I do, because I'm lazy. Okay, but I don't have clothes all over my fucking room. All right, next problem. You have this desktop computer, and it's just sitting in the middle of the room. It's sitting between the couch, between the table. They didn't even have the decency to put it, like, under the table or, like, alongside this cabinet back here or anywhere where it would make sense. They just dropped it in the middle of the fucking room. It's like when you're playing Animal Crossing and you get a new item and your dresser is full in Animal Crossing, so you can't put the item in there. And you're like, well, shit, I need to hold on to this item for a while. So you just drop it in the middle of your house, just for the time being, and then later, once you have more space, you put it away. That's basically what's happened here with this desktop. They just dropped it in the middle of the room. They got wires fucking everywhere. And I'm not, you know, that stingy about my cable management. If you could see the underneath of my desk, the shitty cable management might give lesser men a fucking stroke just to look at. But this is bad. They're everywhere. The wires are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Then we get to the coffee table, and we have a plate with a fork and some residue on it. I don't know what's so hard about taking a plate to a sink. I don't like that. Food, like, when it comes to messes, I can stand a very large mess. I can stand clothes lying around, and I can stand dust, and I can even stand poor cable management. I can even stand clutter, but what I cannot stand is food items being left out. Plates that you're done with, cups that are empty, for whatever reason, that is just gross to me. I cannot stand it. Anon, take your dish to the fucking sink. It has the potential to be an 8 out of 10. But what they've done with this place is they've just shit on it, and they've brought it down to a 2 out of 10. Alright, last setup of the video. I gotta give this one props. It looks cozy as shit, I'm not gonna lie. You've got this cozy bed with just an ass load of blankets and pillows. You've got your laptop, you've got your tablet, you've got your headphones, everything you could possibly need to just sit there and browse the internet in absolute bliss. You've got a window there, big old window to look out into the wider world. I'm sure, you know, this picture was taken in the summertime, it looks like, but in the fall when the leaves start to change, I'm sure that view is gorgeous. I mean, everything you could ever need right there. Absolutely a cozy setup. And again, it's a little cluttered, but it's the good kind of cluttered. I got to give this props. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.